When you have a detective come up to you, a LAPD detective, say, "You're making us proud," it's like your mom telling you in a way, you know?
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay and I'm here today with Regina King from Southland. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Very well, and I'm excited for you because this week you directed an episode of the show for the first time.
Yes, I did.
I know it's not your first time directing either, but is it different when you're kind of taking on this leadership role with people that you've worked with for so many years?
I think it is. I think what's the biggest difficulty was being in front of the camera as well as behind the camera, because this particular episode, Lydia's character has a really heavy scene that's a two-hander, and I think it's the longest scene up to the date of that episode.
Oh wow, okay.
That we'd ever shot. It came in at like 5 minutes.
Wow. With
just two people. So just even approaching it was like, how is this going to be interesting? But I think it came off really well.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about what she goes through on this episode this week?
This episode, we kind of don't know quite what's in Lydia's head. We know she is going to witness the execution of a person that she arrested years ago when she first got on the force, and because he was a person at large, and when she found him, he was fleeing from Arizona, so her catching him is what ultimately pretty much landed him on death row.
And what's cool too about Southland is, from a director's perspective, it's got such a cool look and feel that's so unique.
Oh, definitely.
When you compare it to anything else that's on TV.
Definitely. One of the things that the creators of the show decided early on is they wanted to give a very similar feeling as you get when you watch the show Cops.
Right.
Except
a little different tone.
Yeah, a little different tone. We see everything through the cop's eyes.
Yeah.
So we usually do not see, we being the audience, see anything before the cops have seen it.
Right.
So if the cops are seeing it for the first time, we see it for the first time too.
Because it's one of the rare shows about cops that it seems like cops actually like.
Right.
You know, have you had any female law enforcement officers come up to you, tell
all
you
the
stories?
time.
Really?
All the time. And one of the, and don't get me wrong, I love hearing people say that they love the show and it's their favorite, but when you have a detective come up to you, a LAPD detective, say, "You're making us proud," it's like your mom telling you in a way, you know?
Yeah, that has to be really rewarding.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about what Lydia's been going through this season, because I think on some levels, I know you're a working mom and your son's a teenager now. He's grown up.
He's 17.
But you've got to relate on some levels to just the struggle she's having with balancing work and motherhood and all those things.
Sure, I think it was a little different for me because I was 26 when I had my son. I'm 42 now, so Lydia is a mother that actually mirrors more mothers today. Because, you know, most women that I know that are professionals are having their kids, I would say 38 would be early.
Yeah.
You know, whereas when I had Ian, 26 wasn't particularly young.
Right.
But now, when I talk to people, they say, "Oh, you were young when you had your son," and I'm like, "Wow, I mean, you know, it didn't seem like it at the time." But it's exciting to be able to represent that many women. Today.
Now tell me about your son a little bit too, because I heard that he's gotten into DJing, so some of your creativity's rubbed off on him.
Yeah. Ian is definitely a musical mind. He knows the difference. But you saw, I was talking about it earlier, between the Four Tops and the Temptations, and some adults don't know the difference between the two. But he loves music, and he said he wanted to DJ. About 2 or 3 months is when he revealed it to me before his 16th birthday.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let's see how serious he is. I bought him this little mixed deck. So he was excited about it, and he's doing stuff, and he's like, I can't really, mix like I need to. And I was like, well,
You're
you
like,
can.
This is the starter kit.
Yeah, this is the starter kit, and you can move up if you want on your own dime.
Exactly.
So he did. He used his own money to buy some Technics turntables, and young man got him some cards made,
wow.
and he's on like his 6th or 7th party now.
That's pretty
paid
impressive.
Party.
Well, tell me about going back to directing. I know that you also have a film that's premiering on BET later this year.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about that?
This was a project that was near and dear to my sister and I. We have a production company, and the story is called, the movie is called Let the Church Say Amen, and it's a book adaptation, and the book is of the same title. The author is Rashonda Tate Billingsley. She's written like 30 books.
Right.
And she trusted us with her baby, and we've been trying to get it done for 3 years now. And
yeah.
It's relatable. It's about a pastor who dedicated so much of his life to the church and neglected his family, and his family has a lot of dysfunctional things as a result of that, and we're seeing them live through that. And I think if you're any type of profession that your job is giving back to the world, doctors, officers, pastors, families will be able to relate to this story.
Yeah. So obviously you've got your hands in a lot of different things, doing directing as well, but would you come back for another season of Southland? I know we're kind of waiting to hear.
In a heartbeat.
Really?
Oh my gosh, in a heartbeat. I was just saying to the person that does my hair, she's been doing my hair for years, and she's also the head of hair on Southland. And we're just talking about how it's very rare that you have the opportunity to work with such an amazing crew.
Right.
And the cast, when I say crew, I'm including
Everybody,
the cast as well. But, we go to work and we're doing some pretty dark stuff.
Right.
But we still are laughing and looking forward to each other, and, episode 1 all the way down to episode 10, we're still hugging each other and, pulling pranks on each other, and just, it's a dream job come true.
Have you guys heard anything yet, or are you still waiting?
No, we haven't.
Right.
We haven't, and we're
crossed.
we're trying to remain optimistic.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, okay, I got to ask you too about what happened on this last episode with Lydia and Terrell, and he really kind of laid it on the line. On the other hand, they have a pretty complicated past. How do you want to see her deal with that situation?
We don't want to call Lydia a home wrecker.
No, we do not.
No, we don't.
She got a little unfairly blamed for that.
Yeah, she's complicated.
Right, she's a complicated woman.
Yeah, she's a complicated woman. And she and Terrell go way back, all the way back to high school. So there's a lot of history there. I would like to see her without giving it away.
Just from a personal perspective.
Just from a personal perspective. Just manage co-parenting, but not be in a relationship.
Right.
With
so
him.
let him in a little bit, but not.
Enough as what he needs to be a good father.
Well, thank you so much, and be sure to check out Regina's first episode of Southland that you directed this Wednesday night on TNT.